Picture this. You're standing at the edge of your dreams, heart pounding, hands trembling. Everything you've worked for feels like it's crumbling. The voice in your head whispers, maybe this isn't for you. Maybe it's time to quit. The bank statements show declining numbers. Your best employees are losing faith. And that big project you promised would change everything? It's stuck in endless revisions. We've all been there. That crushing moment when success feels impossible, when the weight of uncertainty becomes almost unbearable, when every path forward seems blocked by obstacles larger than life. But what if I told you that this moment, this exact moment of doubt, is precisely where your breakthrough begins? What if every obstacle you're facing right now isn't a wall, but a door waiting to be opened? I remember standing in my office at 3 a.m., staring at a screen full of numbers that didn't add up. The pressure was suffocating. My team was counting on me. My family was counting on me, and everything seemed to be falling apart. Our biggest client had just pulled out. 3 key employees had resigned in the same week. The market was crashing, and our innovation, the one we bet everything on, was facing unprecedented technical challenges. But that night taught me something powerful, something I'm about to share with you. Let me tell you about another entrepreneur I know. Sarah, she had mortgaged her house, maxed out her credit cards, and was living on instant noodles to keep her dream alive. One evening, she sat in her empty office, tears streaming down her face, wondering if everyone who called her crazy was right. Today, she runs a $100 million company. The difference between these two moments wasn't just time. It was understanding what I'm about to share with you. Core message introduction. Let me be crystal clear. The life of an ambitious person isn't what most people think it is. It's not about the highlight reel you see on social media. It's not about the glamorous success stories that make headlines. And it's definitely not about overnight victories. Those overnight success stories you hear about, they're usually just the visible peak of a mountain built on thousands of invisible moments of doubt, struggle, and persistence. The truth? It's about something far more powerful, something I call the breakthrough principle. And once you understand it, everything changes. Your perspective shifts. Your resilience deepens. Your potential expands. You see, every single person who's ever achieved something meaningful has discovered this truth. Success isn't linear. It's cyclical. It's a series of peaks and valleys, victories and setbacks, moments of brilliant clarity followed by periods of crushing doubt. Just like a heartbeat on a monitor, it's the ups and downs that show you're alive, that you're growing, that you're in the game. But here's what makes the difference, and pay close attention, because this might be the most important thing you'll hear today. The size of your breakthrough is directly proportional to the size of the obstacles you're willing to face. Let me say that again, because this is crucial. The size of your breakthrough is directly proportional to the size of the obstacles you're willing to face. Main content section 1. Understanding the cycle. First thing you need to understand is that everything in life moves in cycles. Think about it. Nature has seasons. The economy has cycles. The stock market has bulls and bears. And your journey to success, it follows the same universal law. This isn't just poetry. It's a fundamental truth about how progress actually happens. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine you're climbing a mountain. Some days, the air is clear, your steps are sure, and you can see the summit. Those are your highs. You feel invincible. Everything clicks. Your team is energized. Your customers are happy. Your innovations are working. These are the moments everyone loves. The moments that make the highlight reels. But then there are the other days. The days when storms roll in, when the path disappears beneath your feet, when every step feels like you're walking through concrete. When your biggest client cancels, when your star employee resigns, when your groundbreaking idea fails its first test. These are your lows. And here's the crucial part. These lows aren't signs of failure. They're not warnings to turn back. They're essential parts of your journey. The real magic happens when you continue to execute, when you don't feel like it, when your body is screaming for rest, when everything seems to be falling apart, when the market crashes, when your motivation has abandoned you, when doubt clouds every thought, when you're tired, frustrated, and questioning everything, when giving up seems logical, when your best plans have failed, when you're back at square one, when nobody believes in you anymore, when even your supporters have doubts, when success seems further away than ever, when progress is invisible. This is where champions are made. This is where breakthroughs happen. This is where you separate yourself from the 99% who give up. In these moments, your actions speak louder than any mission statement or vision board ever could. Let me share a secret that took me years to learn. Your success is in direct proportion to how much uncertainty you can handle. The more pressure you can withstand, the more anxiety you can push through, the greater your potential for breakthrough becomes. Think about a diamond. It's just carbon that withstood extraordinary pressure. Your breakthrough works the same way. I remember watching a friend build his business during the height of the 2020 pandemic. While others were paralyzed by uncertainty, he adapted. While they waited for things to get back to normal, he created a new normal. He shifted his entire business model in 72 hours. Was it perfect? No. Was it comfortable? Absolutely not. But his ability to execute through chaos saved not just his business, but the livelihoods of his 47 employees. Main content, section 3. The breakthrough zone. Here is where it gets interesting. There's a space I call the breakthrough zone. It's that point where most people quit, where the pressure becomes almost unbearable, where everything in your body and mind is screaming at you to stop. It's the space between what you know you can do and what you think is impossible. Let me paint this picture more clearly. Imagine you're running a marathon. At mile 20, something happens. Athletes call it hitting the wall. Your body wants to shut down. Your mind floods with doubts. Every fiber of your being begs you to stop. This is your breakthrough zone. And what you do in this moment defines everything. But here's the fascinating part. This zone, this uncomfortable, anxiety-inducing space, is exactly where transformation happens. It's like working out. The muscle doesn't grow when you're comfortable. It grows when you push past your limits, when you're in that zone of discomfort, when you feel the burn, the strain, the temptation to quit. Think about this. Every human has what it takes to push through whatever they're going through. It's not a matter of capability. It's a matter of decision, of mental conditioning, of choosing your response to adversity. The key is developing what I call breakthrough consciousness. This means recognizing that obstacles are opportunities in disguise. Every problem contains its own solution. Understanding that pressure is a privilege. It means you're playing at a level that matters, knowing that your worst days are actually your best. Teachers, they forge your character, believing that breakthroughs happen just beyond your breaking point, when most would quit. Accepting that discomfort is the price of growth. Comfort is the enemy of progress. Realizing that your thoughts create your reality. What you believe, you achieve. Understanding that every master was once a disaster. Let me tell you about James, not a struggling entrepreneur who came to one of my seminars last year. His business was failing, his confidence was shattered, and his mind was filled with every reason why he couldn't succeed. But he did one crucial thing. He decided to rewrite his mental story. Instead of saying, "I can't afford to invest in growth," he started asking, "How can I generate the resources I need?" Instead of thinking, "My competitors are too strong," he began asking, "What unique value can I offer?" The transformation was remarkable. Within 6 months, his business didn't just survive, it tripled in size. The market didn't change. The economy didn't change. His circumstances didn't change. What changed was his mental game. Closing summary and call to action as we wrap this up. I want you to understand something profound. Your journey isn't about avoiding the lows. It's about mastering them. It's about building the strength to execute regardless of how you feel. It's about developing the mental toughness to turn every obstacle into an opportunity. Remember these universal truths. The highs will come and go, their temporary lows will come and go, they're temporary too. But your commitment to execution must remain constant. This is permanent. Your mindset determines your outcomes. Choose it. Wisely, your challenges are your opportunities. Embrace theme, your breakthrough is waiting. Keep pushing, your potential is unlimited. Believe either's my challenge to you. For the next 30 days, commit to executing your key tasks, regardless of how you feel. When you don't feel like it, that's exactly when you must do it. When everything seems to be falling apart, that's when you double down. When your mind says stop, that's when you push harder. I want you to do 3 specific things. Every morning, write down one action that scares you, then do it before noon every evening. Record your victories, no matter how small. Build your evidence of success every time you face an obstacle. Ask yourself, what's the opportunity here? Inspirational ending, let me leave you with this thought. Right now, somewhere in the world, someone just like you is pushing through their lowest moment. They're tired, they're doubting, they're questioning everything. Their bank account is empty, their energy is depleted, their faith is wavering, but they're still executing. They're still moving forward. And in that persistence, they're forging their breakthrough. I remember sitting in my car 7 years ago, down to my last $100, wondering if this was the end of my dream. Today we operate in 27 countries. The difference: one decision, one moment of choosing to execute despite the fear, one commitment to push beyond the breaking point. The question isn't whether you have what it takes. You do. The evidence is in your DNA. Every single one of your ancestors survived long enough to pass on their genes. You are the product of thousands of years of survivors, of breakthroughs, of those who refuse to quit. The question is, will you keep executing when everything inside you wants to quit? Will you push when others pull back? Will you advance when others retreat? Remember, the breakthrough isn't just possible. If you keep executing, it's inevitable. Success isn't a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And that when is determined by your willingness to stay in the game. Your future self is watching your decisions today. Make them count. Your breakthrough is watching. Your legacy is watching. Your destiny is watching. Now, get out there and keep executing. Not until it's easy, not until you feel ready, but until you break through, until you become who you were meant to be, until your potential becomes your reality. The time is now, the person is you, the decision is clear, the breakthrough awaits, your move.